Hello, 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 and welcome. I am Heather, the Body Shaman, and this is our fall equinox celebration, where we are going to spend the next 90 minutes in ceremony, where we will really just focus on clearing any last bits of stagnant energy out of our system to really open ourselves up to the gratitude of seeing things that have come to completion, or to recognize how things have grown and shifted in our lives, and to allow ourselves to really feel and tap into that energy of the equinox still point. That where we are working in that balance between day and night, equal and equal parts, right? And that can be such a synonym or a analogy, it's a better word, between ourselves, between the different parts of ourselves, between doing and being, and the masculine and the feminine, the creativity and the structure, and to really embody that and feel what that feels like for us, and allow that to carry us into this season of really harvesting. It's that the action that we take on what we have already planted, right? And it's that wind. So things, we're in Libra season today. I'm a Libra, so that's so exciting. But in Libra season, we are in the air, right? And the air can move very fast or very slow. And so the beauty of it is you get to choose if you want to make this transition very slow, very graceful, very easy, or very swift, right? Like, you get to choose how you want to use that air. So we are going to be working a lot with the different elements and with ourselves, with our bodies, and with our energy and our hearts, and just kind of go along for the ride, right? Because life in and of itself, it's a journey, it's a ride, it's such a blessing, such a blessing. So I invite you to come in, sit down at this circle, if you will. And that's what we are going to create today. Is just a circle of anyone who is here, who sees this at any point in time. Because again, as we work within the energy fields, as we work within those shamanic realms, we really are able to go beyond just that linear idea of time and space. So regardless of when you see this, you are sitting in circle with all of us who are here. So we are going to first really come into the circle and ground ourselves. So if you haven't already, make sure that your feet are flat on the floor, or if you're sitting in a chair, if you are sitting on the ground, make sure that your sit bones are flat. And we do want to be sitting, we want our spine in an upright position for this part of the ceremony, or this part of grounding in our energy, really opening ourselves up and connecting to what we are going to create here. So I also invite you to kind of rub your hands against the top of your thighs, starting at the top of your thighs and pushing down towards the knee, letting go, coming back up. So you're just kind of nice and easy down, really letting go of the body, back down, and just create a nice, smooth, easy, comforting motion. And allow your hands to come to stillness, palms flat against the top of your thighs. Allow your eyes to close softly, or just soften your gaze. Begin to breathe in through the nose. We're not forcing anything. We're just breathing into the body. Feeling that breath coming in and out. And with each breath, if you can take a little bit deeper of an inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel your body feel a little bit heavier. Let the chair or the earth take your weight. And begin to feel and notice the energy of the earth coming up, meeting the bottom of your feet. Coming up into the legs. Maybe you can see it wrapping like a rope around your ankles, around your calves. Maybe they look like tree roots. Maybe you can kind of envision and imagining the actual earth coming up. If you can feel it continue to come up past your knees. And it's this slow, like the earth is moving nice and slow and easy up, welcoming you, supporting you. All the way up into your hips. And into that womb space, or that bowl of energy there in the pelvic region. And this time as you breathe in, allow your breath to come in and down to meet that earth energy. And as they meet, feel that instant connection all the way down to the center of the earth. And we are going to further deepen this connection by imagining that we are releasing and letting go of all of the energy that is no longer serving us, down through our right foot into that connection, sending that into the earth. This is our gift to her. To help feed her. And in return, we ask that she send some of that repurposed energy back, that cleansed energy, that grounded energy back in, up through our left foot and into our body. If you can kind of see it as this, and feel it as this continual cycle of energy moving between the earth and ourselves. And here we call on Mother Earth. We are gathering for the healing of all her children. The stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones. All our relations. Everything that is made of earth. Everything that feeds the earth. Everything that nourishes and nurtures the earth. And we are going to begin with, now that we have this solid connection, we're going to begin to open up the space even more, by calling in the directions and the elements. We're going to start with the winds of the east. Great eagle, condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Calling the element of wind and air. We call in that connection with spirit and the angels. Oh. To the winds of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace, to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. Oh. To the winds of the north, hummingbirds, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires. Whisper to us in the wind. We honor you who have come before us and you who will come after us, our children's children. And really begin to connect to your own lineage, your own family history, your own ancestors. Back generation by generation, as far back to creation itself. Grandfather, sun, grandmother, moon, to the star nations, great spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, you who are the unnameable one, thank you for coming together and allowing us to sing the song of life. And the next inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Breathe into your heart. And if you can, soften and open yourself up even more. Begin to experience that gratitude of the support of the earth beneath our feet that gives us the food with which we eat, the animals that walk upon the earth with us in harmony and nourishment. With the wind in the air, it gives our breath life. The sun and the fire that give us warmth. And the metal that opens and balances us. Creates a sense of sturdiness and stability. To the trees and the element of wood. That teach us patience and the power of longevity and growth. Breathe and allow yourself to come back into the room and into the space. We are also, if you have anything to drink, we are going to invite in the element of water. And you're going to add a little bit of sweetness of life with honey. As we blend the two together, we continue to sit in that space of gratitude. We take our cups, even if it's just a simple cup of water. And again, we sit in that heart space, open, and we thank the water for teaching us to be fluid and flexible in life, teaching us to go with the ebbs and flows, to give us understanding as the landscape is changed by the water, and teaches us that we do have the ability to change our own landscape just as the water does. Open hearts, open minds. Take a drink. We feel that as it comes down into our and past our heart. All right. So, as you come back into the room with that connection, back into your space and into the circle, allow yourself to take note of how that shift in your body feels, right? So, that ability to be more open, to feel those different connections can be a little challenging at first. The more that we sit with it, right? The more that we do anything, the more that we practice, the more that we bring those intentions, right? The more that we are able to feel that, the more open that we become. But regardless of where you are at on that spectrum, whether you are still learning what that feels like, or whether it is very easy for you to go into that state of connection, everything is connected. So it feels your intention, even as you are learning to feel that connection back. And so the next thing that we are going to do before we move into that, before we get to the stillness point, we want to make sure that we really clear out all of that residual stagnation that may be in our system, or maybe even a little bit of excess energy. The summertime is very, especially up in the northern hemisphere, right? It's all of this warmth and all of this heat, and if we're not able to get and expend all of the energy, it's still kind of hangs out in the body. Or if we do not act on everything with which we want to act on, it can stay and linger in our system. And so we are going to start, and you can do this, standing up, sitting down. I'm going to sit down to kind of show you that is possible, but if you feel like you need more space to move the body, please feel free to stand up. Use the space that you have, right? So we are going to start with rolling our ankles. So taking your ankle and just rolling it around. So let's go clockwise, counterclockwise, and then back clockwise. And move the knee joint a little bit. Again, clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise again. Move your hip in the joint. We're going to go clockwise, counterclockwise, again clockwise. So what we're doing here is we're going threes in cycles of threes. And then we're ending back up in the moment. And then once you get up into the hip, allow yourself to shake that leg out. Just like you're going to shake your arm, shake your leg out. And you go to the other side. So again, we're going to take that left foot and roll the ankle. So we're moving the foot, we're rolling that ankle 3 times clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise again. And the knee. So if you need to hold the knees, hold the upper leg steady so that you're just really moving it from that knee joint. So kind of like hinge, right? Just trying to move it. So however your knee feels comfortable in moving. In a clockwise motion, counterclockwise. But again, the idea is that it's in back clockwise, that it's originating in that knee. And then we're going to go up to the hip. So move that ball in that socket joint, right? So we're moving it in a clockwise motion, in a counterclockwise motion, clockwise motion again, and then shake it out. Now we're going to move our hips. So we're going to take the hips and we're going to move them. So again, you can do it standing up, you can do it sitting down, but it's that we're taking that motion, we're doing it in a circular pattern. So we're going to go 3 times clockwise, Try to get as much articulation in there. It doesn't have to be fast, right? This isn't a race. Just loosening everything up. As you're moving, you might feel that need to exhale. That's energy moving out, right? And then we're going to move our rib cage. Again, so we're going to go clockwise. So, and again, go with your level of flexibility, right? So I'm a little bit more hyper flexible. So don't feel like you have to, your movement has to be as big, but do it as big as it's comfortable for you, right? So if it's just here and you feel it, but the idea is that you're able to tell that you're articulating as much as possible, or at least starting the intention of that movement being from that rib cage, right? So 3, 1 time. And again, 3 counterclockwise. You might hear some back clockwise. So you might feel a little warmth coming in your body from moving, right? And this time we're going to do our shoulders, but we're going to do them together. And we're going to go back and down. Back. Just opening up the heart space. And you can kind of move the heart forward and back. Then we're going to go the opposite direction. And exhale as you come forward. And the other way. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One last time. We're going to drop our chin to the chest and roll to the right. We're not going to roll all the way around. We're just going to roll to the back to center, to the left. And again, it's where you're flexible. You'll even notice I'm a little bit more flexible on one side than the other. But just go with where you can feel comfortable. And then we're just going to tilt, instead of rolling, we're just going to tilt from side to side. And then we're going to look over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder. Looking over the left, over the right. And then we're going to go back to our right arm. And we're going to take the bend in the arm, and we're going to move forward. And then back. And then again, we're going to go clockwise. So you can see it's, again, originating from the elbow joint. The other direction. You might feel some tingliness in the body. It's all normal. And back. It's just like waking your nervous system up a little bit too. And then we're just going to go clockwise with the wrist. Again, as much as you can. If you're only here, then you're only here, right? And I would straighten your fingers and let your fingers move with them. Going counterclockwise now. Clockwise again. So we're going to stick rolling with the fingers. And then just shake it all out. Really shake it out. So other side. And we're going to just go forward. Since we've already gotten the shoulders moving a little bit. We're going to go back. And then from the elbow, we're going to go clockwise. counterclockwise. It's like you're hitting a punching bag, right? And then clockwise again. It's that kind of motion. And then the wrist. So we're going clockwise. So this time you just want your hands straight. We're not, loose hand. Just letting it flow. Then we're going back the other direction. And this time we want to really articulate movement with our hands. So we go clockwise one last time. And then shake it all out. And then we're going to start moving our shoulders kind of in like forward and backwards. And just let the body, and just let it go through your body. Whatever it feels like it needs to move. But it's taking that kind of like... Hence the sometimes you might want to get up because just really get it all out of your system. Our bodies were made to move. That's how, some people more than others, but especially me, like that's how I get rid of the excess energy. Whether, sometimes I think like if you're a little bit more empathetic and you take on other people's energy, it's a really good way to help process it out of yours is by moving the body. And sometimes it's shaking it and sometimes it's circular. It's whatever feels good, right? To get it out of your body. So like there's so often, in life, there's this complacency that happens, and that complacency is a little bit of a learned pattern, but it's also, this deep instinct, right? Because we don't have all of those external stressors and threats and things that we had to do to survive throughout history. I mean, you can look outside the fact that we are on technology here, right? We have so many different ways of communicating, connecting, how we get our food, how we, the houses that we live in, right? The cars that we drive. So how we get from one place to another is so very different than it used to be. And so, there's this drive and need in ourselves to do something, but we don't have those kind of outlets. And so sometimes we just get complacent and we, some people might call it laziness. And, the laziness, sometimes it is, but I think it really comes from a place of not knowing what to do with that extra energy that we have. And then as it builds up, sometimes it becomes this heavy weight, and it's something that we can't get out of and we can't see through and we can't move through because that extra weight just feels so heavy on us in our systems. And then it becomes like the physiological stuff, right? It's like if we don't move our body, our fascia gets stuck. And then it becomes harder to move. And so we get more complacent and okay with just doing the bare minimum that we need to do to get through the day. And this is, something that we can judge ourselves on. But, there's just this idea and understanding that if we can start to tap back into that and begin to move and find our own rhythm of what we need, we're able to move through that complacency and find ways that feel good to our body to shake it up, to break it loose, to get rid of it, right? And some people that is, they learn to love exercise. Or, you might learn to love to go hiking, getting out in nature, right? So like that starts, especially when you get to find something in nature that feels good, that it has this like this a physiological effect on the body, because it's what innately our DNA and our makeup crave, right? I mean, like it comes back to how we started, where we were connecting to the elements and to nature. We have created houses and homes that separate us from nature, but we are just another element and part of nature. And so the not being scared of getting out there and connecting to nature in different ways is going to help get you out of that complacency mindset, and it becomes a little bit easier to do a little bit every day, right? So the same sort of things, we practice to connect to the energy, you practice to connect to moving, you practice to connecting to what feels good in your body. All right, and from there, we're going to begin to work with a little bit of the wind element, with breathing and breath work, the breath of life, right? Actually, before we do that, if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and grab it. And if you need to, you can pause it, or you can keep going if you feel like you have enough time. But on this piece of paper, I want you to make a list of any place in your life where you feel like you have been complacent, where you feel like you have stopped listening to yourself, stopped doing things that used to feel good just because there wasn't, or because life got in the way, but not because it was something that you consciously chose to stop doing because it didn't feel good anymore, other than, like there's certain aches and pains, like maybe injuries or things like that, that had you pause, right? And you became complacent and you used the injury as an excuse, or anything like that. Anything where you've stopped being creative in your life and became more complacent with watching other and looking at other people's creativity instead of tapping into your own. So just get it out. And again, this is another way that we clear the energy. We clear and get things out of our system. Writing is a beautiful way to do that, because it takes it out of our brain and it puts it in a tangible context. It takes us beyond that passing thought into something that we now have to be aware of. And the more that we are aware of things, the more that we can make choices of making change in our lives. Or can we change, or we can simply just think of it as taking action towards a life that makes us feel good in our bodies again. Completely and totally. And the beauty of it, and the way that we work with the seasons and the moon cycles, is as we move things out, different things come up, right? And so that's the beauty of you taking a list and writing it on a list and continuing to let it flow and go until there's nothing left. And then as that space clears out, it gives room for something else to come in, or something else to come up that you need to move through. And that's the beauty of it, right? And every time that you clear stuff, it's just another way that you're able to get in contact and connect with yourself again, with your body, with your soul, with your heart, with your own energy. And reconnecting back with the vision that you have for your life, for your time on this earth, and in this particular body. All right, so take just another minute, and then we are going to move into, again, working with the element of air and the element of breath. Again, right now we're still working on clearing out that stagnant energy. Because the more that we can clear out, the more we're going to be able to connect with that still point of the season. And we're going to take that and shift that into how we move forward. All right. So we can set that off to the side. And allow yourself to come to a sitting position, whether you're in a chair or on the floor. And we're going to start, but I want you to kind of tilt your hips back and arch the back a little bit. Tilt the hips forward. And then tilt them back until it comes to a neutral position. And you'll notice with the neutral position that your shoulders will just naturally drop. And so when we get into this position, it creates a more of a neutral space that allows the breath to come in easier for you. It allows the diaphragm to move better. It allows the rib cage to move better. And so, well, there's going to be a little structure here. This is really about playing with the element of air and forming that connection and seeing how you can use the air in your body to clear things. So you can either close your eyes or just allow your gaze to just go soft. In other words, because we're not turning completely inward, right? Like this isn't a meditation. We're just working with the breath. So if it's more comfortable and easier for you to connect with the breath in your body, close your eyes. If you can just have that soft gaze and that works for you too, that's fine. Again, this is your practice and your way of doing, and you're finding what works for you. So again, let's take a breath. We're going to breathe in first through the mouth, out through the mouth. Now this time breathe through the nose and out through the nose. Allow yourself to feel the difference. And we're taking fairly quick breaths. We're not holding on to anything. Like a quick deep inhale. And notice where you feel it. Is that breath up into the chest? You feel your chest expand out? How does your body move as you inhale? And now we're going to slow that breath down just a little bit as we breathe in through the nose. Breathe in, but breathe down into your belly. Feel your belly button expand out. Keep your hips and abs soft. Again, if your body is in alignment, you'll notice there's going to be a lot less discomfort. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose into the belly. Allow your belly to expand out. Push the abdomen out a little bit. The breath there. Notice if your body wants to lean forward or backward, and kind of shift to neutral again if you can, and exhale through the mouth. And again, the biggest thing that you'll notice is if you're trying to go forward or backward, you'll start to feel tension in different areas of the body. So if you try to move forward, you'll probably feel a little bit at the bottom of the rib cage. You can breathe in through the nose, into the belly, and hold. You start to probably feel your hip flexors and inner thighs a little bit if you're leaning too far back. And exhale through the mouth. So this time, I want you to put your hands on the side of your ribs, and as you breathe in, feel your ribs expand outward. And exhale. Again, do you feel that ribs expand out? And we're not pushing into the ribs, they're just resting there. And you're feeling, as the breath comes in, pushing your hands out, exhale through the mouth. And we're going to start to form an O, or like a whistle. That whistle shape with your mouth. We're just blowing the air out that way. Alright, so this time we're going to drop our arms so that our shoulders relax, but we still want to feel that same expansion in the rib cage. So maybe you'll feel a little bit more warmth and tension in that heart space. See if you can notice anywhere that feels a little sticky. Breathe in just a little bit more and breathe that air into that space. And then exhale out, and imagine that you're taking that stickiness and exhaling it out with the breath. And then as you inhale again, allow your body to relax. So as you exhale, you might feel some tension as it wants to push that air out. Just make sure that you let your body relax again as you take your next inhale through the nose. You're feeling your ribs expand out. And see if you notice any difference in how that expansion happens. Can you feel a little bit more expansion? And again, where do you feel any stickiness? Take another little breath in through the nose into where that, and you're breathing into where that tightness or tension or discomfort is. And then exhale through the mouth. You really want to make sure you're exhaling out as much air as possible. And your intention is that you're breathing out that stickiness. And then just allow yourself to take a couple nice, even, deep breaths here. We're not forcing anything. So just natural breath. They don't even have to be deep. Just feel what feels like a natural breath in and out through the nose. And now from this natural, neutral state of breath, imagine that as you breathe in, again, without really forcing a breath, we're not going to force a deep breath or anything like that. Just imagine as that you breathe in, that your breath is going to anywhere that you feel tension in the body, anywhere that you feel a little tightness, a little zinginess, or anything that just doesn't feel right or good in your body. So as you breathe in, the breath is going there. And then exhale that through the mouth this time, and that you're exhaling that out. And take about 5 of intentional breaths at your own pace. You might notice that with each breath, that where you feel the discomfort changes. And just allow the breath to follow that. And you're exhaling. So we're using the power of the air and intention to move that excess stagnant energy out of the body. to take one more breath in. Let it follow to where there's tension. Exhale. Now allow yourself to move your body, so your ankles, your ribs, anywhere that you were feeling that discomfort, and see what release that you get, what change in movement. Maybe get a little crack. And then come back to stillness. Again, neutral spine. Nice, easy, natural breath. We're not forcing anything. And see what feels different. Notice if your chest feels different, if your spine feels different, if your posture feels a little better, whatever you notice. Maybe it's an energetic feel. So again, we're just working with wind, and it's a great thing to do right now too, because we are in Libra season, and Libra is air. So let yourself and lean into, especially now, the next 30 days, the moon cycle, right? Allow yourself to lean into that. So it's a great thing that you can do anywhere, anytime, right? You might get a few random little works of why is she breathing out like that, but it's, or something as simple as a sigh, right? That's another way that we naturally, it's something that our body does, or a yawn, right? Those are all things that in ways that our body naturally uses air to expel that extra energy. So allow yourself to do that as it comes up. Allow yourself to work with that, especially when you are coming up against any of your own roadblocks, and any ways that you feel stagnant. Begin to move in towards tapping into that still point. To really be able to create not just an awareness, right? But to learn to be able to feel and connect with that in a way that goes just beyond our brain, right? So our brains are useful sometimes because it can hold some information. It can help reinforce positive patterns in our life. And then there's times when it becomes our overthinkers, and it tells us to do things just because it thinks that we should, even if it doesn't feel good for us, right? And so coming back into balance and stillness, or coming into stillness from a place of balance where we learn to have some discernment with what our brain is telling us, learning to listen to our heart, learning to listen to our gut, or wherever we make our decisions in life from, other than the brain, right? So the brain is really just another organ of our body, and it does have the capacity to hold information, and it has this wonderful capacity to send out electrical currents to tell our body to move and to do things and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best at connecting to what is the best for our forward growth in life. Um, and this is where like we start talking about the heart. And there's a lot of research that's come out. I'm not going to be able to quote any of it right now, but there's a lot of research out there about the heart having its own mind, right? And to me, like all of this is just reinforcing like that soul, like our soul is in our heart, and that in that area, right? And that like learning to lead with that, but not disregarding our brain, right? Because if you throw the brain out the window, your body isn't going to move. You're not going to be able to do anything here on earth, right? Like it's the brain is really good at helping process everything that we learn through the heart and bringing it into life and into this tangible 3D world. So we can't just throw it out the window. But it doesn't mean that we have to let it lead the way. And especially when we are growing, when we are going through periods of different awakenings and expansions of our understanding of the world as a whole, right? So for this one, this is going to be a little bit more of a guided journey. So I would invite you now to get comfortable. Make sure that you have your journal handy next to you, so that when we come out of this, you can take a couple minutes and allow whatever to come through to come out and down on something, so that you don't lose it all. And make yourself comfortable. So whether you feel comfortable in a seated across position, like good position, whether you want to lay down on the floor, all right. So let's begin. Breathe easy and soft. With each breath, your body, the weight of your body feels heavier. Allow yourself to begin to tap into your own heart center. Breathe and soften. Breathe and soften. Let your eyebrows relax. Any tension behind the eyes, let it go. This is how we help let the brain go and come back into our heart. Feel the warmth of feel the beat of your heart. Hear the beat of your heart. Settle, settle, settle. Soften. Just the beat of your heart. Aware of nothing but the beat of your heart. see your heart beat. And as you continue to focus on that sound, what does that sound look like for you? Is it a drum? Is it a rattle? Is it a harp? Is it an instrument at all? Begin to feel the beat of your heart through your entire body. Feel it as the blood rushes out from your heart and back in with each beat of your heart. All the way to the extremities and back into the heart. You feel that beat and that pulse in your entire body. Feel it in your entire being. So if you can, if your body was moving, allow your brain to still your body, but stay connected to that beat, to that pulse. Feel it as it expands out into your energetic field around you. Feel how it pulses just as your heart and your blood does. Bringing your awareness back to your heart space. Feel it soften even more. Feel it open. 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 And just notice how on one side of your open heart you see light, you see the sun, and on the other side you see the darkness and the moon. And even in the sunlight you see the darkness of the earth. And in the darkness of the night you still see the light of the moon. There is never truly one without the other. Just as within you, there is never one without the other. In this open heart space, begin to see a mirror. Or maybe that open heart is just a full reflective surface. Allow yourself to walk up towards that mirror. And the hazy image begins to come clear. Start to see the edges sharpen. And you see yourself just as you are in this moment. You're not what you think like you should look like. Just let the image come. There are no wrong or rights here. You're just seeing what you need to see, seeing your reflection, your soul's reflection of what it sees of you in this exact moment. You begin to see some smoke come up in front of the mirror, creating it hazy again. This is the spirit of the sage cleansing. And again, the edges become clear and sharp until the entire image is clear. You are seeing the reflection of your own divine masculine. Taking in all the details, notice how that feels in your body. But we are just observing, we are not forcing or changing anything. And the divine masculine comes through the mirror and puts down an object just in front of the mirror. And you look down and notice the object. You can ask any questions. This is their gift to you. Allow yourself to express gratitude in any way that feels right. And call back the spirit and the smoke of the sage. And this time the image becomes clear from the inside out. So it becomes clear at the center and then sharpens outwards. And you begin to see your reflection of your divine feminine. Seeing her in all her glory, all her beauty. You can open yourself up to feel her. Notice what that feels like in your body. What is your body telling you? And she bestows a gift upon you as well, coming through the mirror, setting it just in front, next to a gift from the Divine Masculine. And again, you're just observing, noticing the object. You may ask any questions. Allow yourself to open up, express your gratitude and your thanks, your appreciation, in whatever way that feels good and right. And one last time, the spirit of the sage comes in. Washing away the image. And in your right hand, you pick up the object from your Divine Masculine. And in your left hand, you pick up the object for your Divine Feminine. You open yourself up. Allowing yourself to accept the gift of both. Feeling the gift of both in your body. Coming up until it meets at the heart center. And slow everything down. Let go of your thoughts. Let go of your expectations. Let go of any judgments. Slow your processes down. Begin to fill that stillness. And see if you can slow it down even more. Let go of any additional resistance in your body. Allow your two sides to feel equal and balanced. Slow it down. Take an inhale through a whistled mouth. Breathe in as much air as you can. Hold the breath and find stillness. Allow yourself to open up in this moment to everything that is all around you. And then breathe in. Feel your body in your body. Feel the body in the body. Allow yourself to come back into the room and to move your body, breathe deeper. Allow yourself to make a couple notes. What images or objects were given to you? What questions were answered? Make note of anything that came through. Make a note of what that stillness felt like. Because that stillness is something that is within all of us. It is something that we can access at any time. Just a little easier to do on the equinox. And learning to be able to find that point to quiet everything else, to feel in total equilibrium within our own system, creates a better and a more stable place for us to move through our day-to-day lives, to make decisions in our day-to-day lives that will move us towards the type of life that we want, towards a big vision, towards changing and making an impact that will affect the world in the way that we are here to do. each and every one of us has a role to play. Each and every one of us leaves our mark just as much as every little ant that walks. There's nothing that isn't felt. We're going to work now with fire and wood, calling on the spirit of the Palo Santo. From this open place of gratitude, we freely give blessings to the world. We allow ourselves to receive blessings in every area of our life. We allow the fire into our peripheral vision. Those layers, outer layers of our third eye, may be blocking any of our vision for the future, maybe blocking us from seeing the exact steps that we need to take. Call on the fire to work with the spirit of the Palo Santo in our heart space. And the fire burns through anything that is allowing us to tap into our will, our desire to do things that keeps us from tapping so deeply into our own knowing of our own purpose. And the wood and the spirit of the Palo Santo, we invite in their blessings so that we may take those heartfelt and heart-led actions to bring forth our vision to the world. And on another piece of paper now, I invite you to make a list of everything that you are truly grateful for in this moment. Or if you're just called to sit in stillness with an open heart and feel each and every one of those gratitudes come in, allowing it to fill up your heart space. Even whether you write it or you're just sitting with it, each one builds. Creating more and more in our heart. When you feel full and complete, release it. Give it over to the universe. And we give it away and we share, because we can always invite in and find more things to be grateful for. It is a way of being, it is a way of moving through life. Let's practice that one more time as we open up. And this time we're just going to sit with it. So just sit with an open heart. You can have your hands, palms up, shoulders open. Maybe your chin is tilted up a little bit. Allow that heart space to be really open. And allow yourself to think about everything that you have done in the past season. So everything you've done over the summer that you have to be grateful for. Whether it was a success or a failure, everything, you're grateful for everything that happens to us, for us. And you'll notice with that open heart position, you can take in even more. You can feel even more gratitude. Think about what's happened with your family, with your job, or your work, or your passion in life. Think about the vision that you have for your world, or the world as a whole. Think about the impact that you want to make on the world. And any of those seeds, see it with a new light. All of the seeds that you have been planting over this summer, the past year, over the course of your entire life. Feel the gratitude for all of that. Let it go. Everything out to the universe. You can blow it out. You can just intentionally release it. You will notice as it feels complete, your chin will come down, your shoulders will naturally come back into more of a neutral position. But you can still feel that heart space open. And this is what we are here to celebrate. That is what the celebration is. It's being able to be fully in that heart space. To be in that place of gratitude and appreciation for everything. Because that is where we learn to truly harvest for the betterment of ourselves and for the betterment of the world around us. We are able to harvest and take action, heart-led action towards creating our vision from a place where people will feel that impact. This is how we get the brain and the heart to work together. You see the vision, you see the steps, and you lead with the heart. You lead with the intention of the heart. And that is our ceremony for today. So we're going to come back to our circle. We're going to feel the connection to everything and to everyone in the circle. We are going to allow them to have all of their energy back, and we are going to take all of our own energy back in. And we thank and release all of the spirits and guides that have been here with us today, from the north, south, east, and west. We thank Mother Earth, we thank the sky and the spirits above. We release them with such love and gratitude. We thank you for our ability to experience and understand that idea of stillness and balance, and leading with the heart in such a deep way. With that, I thank you for spending this time with me, for opening yourself up, for being such a brave soul to be willing to step up and share your vision. Enjoy this wonderful equinox season, and I look forward to seeing and hearing how each one of you go and change the world. Thank you.